everybody, it's Brayden. Welcome to my channel and welcome back if you're not new here. So today's video is for all my stay-at-home mamas out there. This could also apply to you working moms on the weekends or whatever days that you are home full-time with your kiddos. So I am just going to be talking about all of the things that I do to keep my sanity as a stay-at-home mama during this quarantine. So if that's something that applies to you, be sure to stick around and watch. One of the things that I've been doing as a stay-at-home mama during this quarantine, just to kind of help me feel like a normal person and not lose my whole sanity during all of these crazy things that we're living through right now. And so I figured if I'm in this place, there's probably a lot of you other stay-at-home mamas that are kind of dealing with the same types of issues of just not really having a great routine and just kind of getting burnt out from your day-to-day monotonous routine. Some of this is just stuff that you feel normally as a stay-at-home mom, and the quarantine is just adding to that. I try to have a bit, I guess you could say, a schedule. It's very loose. There's not really specific times for anything, but just more so like a checklist, I guess you could say. So the first thing that I do is I wake up when Caroline wakes up. So she is my alarm clock. She wakes up anywhere from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Whenever before the quarantine, I was getting up way earlier, not way earlier, but I was getting up at least an hour and a half or so before she was. And that gave me time to have quiet time with the Lord, gave me some time to see Josh off before he went to work, gave me time to get ready, but that just has not been my reality for the past few months. That's okay. So I get up with her. As soon as I hear her on the baby monitor, I go in her room, I get her diaper changed, get her PJs off, put her in her clothes for the day, and then I get her breakfast. Once that's all finished, I just set her in front of the TV and let her watch TV. She's usually pretty kind of out of it in the morning, as we most are. So it gives her a time to kind of unwind. So I just set her in front of the TV with her breakfast, all dressed, ready to go, even though we're not really going anywhere these days. And then it's time for me to get ready. And so I go into my room and I just do all the things I need to get myself ready for the day. And I think it's so important that even if I'm not going anywhere, I'm not seeing anybody, that I still get dressed. It's easy to stay in your PJs all day, but I just don't feel like it makes me feel good to do that. Once I've done that, my next thing on my agenda is usually to get Caroline's hair brushed and her teeth brushed. About the time that I'm finished getting ready, she's already finished with her breakfast, so it's perfect timing to get her finished getting ready. And then I like to open all of the blinds in my house. So I go through every window, I open all the blinds. I don't usually use any actual lights in my home during the day, except the natural lighting that comes in from my windows. Speaking of, it's like glaring on my sunglasses, my glasses, so I guess I could take those off. So I do that. That is my rule of thumb every day. I don't miss it. I open my windows, and I honestly think it is such a mood booster to open those windows, open the blinds, let the sunlight in. I do that for every room in the house, and then after I'm finished with that, I turn on all of my Scentsies. I have a Scentsy in almost every single room. Turn on my Scentsies, I light candles, whatever, just to kind of set the tone for the rest of the day. I try to get up and motivated quickly in the mornings to just kind of set that tone. And so I'll go light all of my I light all of my candles. I light some of my candles, I turn on my Scentsies, and then it's time to make beds. I remember when I was young, my grandmother who raised me, my Mimi, she always made the beds immaculately, and I just did not get that. I was like, why? You're about to go to sleep anyways, like you're gonna take a nap or something, like why would you do that? And now that I'm older, I get it. I feel so much better when the beds are made. Let me know below in the comments if you're like that as well, because if my bed's made, my life is together. So I make the bed, I make the bed 2 different ways. I have a messy make and an actual full on with the pillows and the comforter that's just for looks. And I just kind of choose whatever I want for the day. If I know that it's a little bit later in the day, then I'll probably just do the messy make. But still make it look nice, whatever you have time for, but just make it in some degree. It really does help. And then of course with Caroline's room, I usually go make her bed as well. And then her room's usually tidied already from the night before, because I tidy before she goes to bed. But I'll kind of straighten things up if I hadn't the night before. She loves a clean space. She's like me, she needs a clean space to focus. She does not like being in her room when it is dirty at all. So if her room is messy, she's gonna avoid it like the plague, and that means she's gonna be up my butt all day, and I also don't want that. So I try to keep her room tidy throughout the day. I'm gonna take a brief pause and go get my water because I'm so thirsty. Okay, so anyways, another thing that I try to do now while I'm making beds and turning the Scentsies on and doing all of those things, I usually start a load of laundry at the beginning of the day as well, because laundry, you know, it takes a bit longer. I always have laundry. There's never a laundry day, it's laundry week. But once I kind of get those little things out of the way, I start to feel a lot better, start to think clearly, and now I'm ready to start thinking, okay, what is today all about? What are we needing to do? What's on the agenda? And I usually just store these things in my head, but if you're one of those that needs to write it down, definitely get a piece of paper and write it down, or write it in your phone notes, whatever you need to do. But I set my goals for the day. And so I have my small goals, which are basically my chores that I have to do every day, no matter what. Just the little things that get dirty throughout the day, every day, that's unavoidable. So for example, dishes, laundry, vacuuming, wiping counters down, the types of things that you do every single day, no matter what. And then I have my big goals. So my big goals are the things that I want to do that day that are not an everyday task. So like your mopping, dusting, cleaning bathrooms, the deep cleaning type of things that you only need to do, you know, once a week or so. And so I try to set those goals for the day. So I usually pick one of the tasks that's most important and most pressing at the time. So, you know, like today, that might be mopping, but tomorrow it might be vacuuming, you know, whatever it is. And so basically my deal with myself is that I need to get all my small goals finished. And then there's time for the big goal left. But if I don't get to it, it's not the end of the world. There's always tomorrow. And I try not to push it off too long, but I forgive myself if I don't get to it that day. There goes my clock. Oh wait, okay. So, with the whole setting goals thing, I also try to limit myself on screen time, so TV time, social media time, all of that. I try to kind of give myself those breaks, but also set a limit, like, okay, we're gonna do this until the dryer goes off and it's time to fold laundry. I'm going to watch this one show, like one episode of this show, before I do X, Y, and Z. And I know that sounds so silly, but you know what, guys? It's so easy for us to be like, I need a break, and to overindulge ourselves in our break because we're so tired, and that's so understandable and valid. But, you know, we have little eyes that are watching us, and if we are tuned off of them and tuned into something else, then we're giving too much of our energy to things that aren't as important. And so if you set a standard and you set a little bit of a limit for yourself, I think it's easier to keep up with that. It's easier to follow. 'Cause I can't tell you how many days I've sat on the couch for way too long. And so setting those limits, it's just a healthy way for me to not overindulge myself on my breaks. And speaking of, you know, not wanting to be too turned off with your kids, I also try to do some sort of engaging activity with Caroline. I'd love to say we do craft time, but we don't. We need to, but we do not do that. The closest we come to crafts is like coloring. Kind of a molten fail there, but it's fine. But we do try to do some educational activities, like she's got some flashcards, she's got a little activity workbook. We have some sensory play items for inside and outside. We also have like some hands-on books. And so every day, now I'm not saying that I do this every day. I'm saying that I would like to do this every day. This is my goal for every day, which I think is important to set those goals and forgive yourself and give yourself grace if you don't meet those goals, because there's always tomorrow. But I try to do those things with her because I think it's important that I engage her mind right now, especially because we're not going outside into the world as much as we were before. And so she's definitely lacking some of those cognitive stimuli that she will get out in the world. Hey, are you doing something you're not supposed to? What is that? Bring that to me now. Bring it to mommy. You know you aren't supposed to have that. Grab it. Get it. Get it. Grab it. Grab it. Oh, goodness. I've got a bad little girl. So I definitely try to have those types of activities throughout the day. Just one activity a day to just engage her mind. And then also, this is an and/or, so I might do both of these things a day, or I might not do any of them, or I might do one or the other. But they are my goals. They're on my radar. Having engaged play with her, so sitting in her floor of her room and playing whatever she wants to play, whether it be tea party, cars, throwing babies at the wall, whatever it is that she wants to do. I try to follow her lead. So when we do like certain activities, educational activities and things, I'm the guide. I'm guiding the learning. I'm facilitating that for her. But when I am in her room and in her space, engaging her and her activities and stuff, I really want her to be the leader of that play experience. And so I kind of just follow her lead and I play whatever she wants to play. She's very good at telling you exactly what she wants and even what she wants you to say. So, but that's good. I think that just shows that natural born leader in her. And I want to cultivate that as much as possible. So if that means me sitting in her floor and just letting her a little imagination run wild and me being along for the ride, that is grand. I really think that's important. So if you're a stay-at-home mama, just remember that it's equally important for you to facilitate learning as it is for you to be engaged in their play, where they're in control of that time, and they can kind of lead you in their playtime. And I find that when we're stuck inside, whether the weather's bad or the quarantine or both, it's really nice for her to get to be in control of playtime with me, so that she feels that I was attentive to her enough to where she will allow me to go have my time in my space whenever I need it. So if I want to go have my quiet time, or I want to go fold a load of laundry without it being trampled on, she will go have her independent playtime where I can do those things and keep a little bit of my sanity. That's really all that I've been trying to do. This is nothing grand or amazing or riveting information. I'm sure most of it's not even new, but I just mean it more as an encouragement to you stay-at-home mamas out there that are kind of getting a little over all of this, and you're trying to keep up, and it looks like every mom on social media is killing the game, but you know, I'm here to tell you that no matter how my Instagram looks or my YouTube looks or whatever I post looks, I'm in the same boat as everybody else, and I'm just trying to keep my head above water, trying to stay productive, trying to be the best mom I can be every day. And that's why I made this video, to just say these are the things that I do. Keep it simple, set these goals, just do your best. And like I said, if you don't meet your expectations for that day, give yourself grace and give yourself forgiveness to move on, stay positive, and just change the outcome for the next day. So yeah, that's all, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with some fellow stay-at-home mamas that you know. Yeah, and be sure to tune in next time for my next video, which will be on Friday. I post every Monday and Friday. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. You can also follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of content there as well. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.